So this really is the chemistry balance um, that modernity's turned away from, but ultimately this is natural. So her clinginess to you is important, right? But your clinginess to the purpose and to God is as important. So she's actually clinging to, she's seeing your drive up the mountain, so to speak. And this is not only on a maybe like a career path or a health journey, etc., but it's also just a spiritual sense, right? Like she's clinging to your sense. Her connection to you is her connection to God. Like you're the intermediary for her connection. When she's bonded and she accepts you as her external masculine, right? Her trusted outsourced masculine, say, that bond is essential, right? But so this should be important to you, her capacity, because if you're going to invest in somebody and they cannot connect with you, that's an issue. A lot of times modern women have problems bonding to men because there's so many other options, right? So if we imagine the modern scene is, oh, I could go with any climber, just pull up my phone and pop on another one, right? So, but with this bond, now he trusts the capacity for the investment to be able to care more, right? And he does care, but she doesn't want attachment to her in this scenario, right? So just because men have trouble understanding this, because we want this kind of loyalty, we assume that if we give this, that's what she wants and that's what she needs, right? Because it's not as much as what she wants. The question is, what do you all need for the situation? She's going to be turned off if you're attached to her, right? To the extent that she's attached to you. Because in this scenario, if you're attached to her, you're not watching the mountain. Like, attached to her means you don't care about her and her mind, right? But it's also true in extent in the outward energetic life, right? Because if your attachment to her, meaning if you're her world, what is he not focused on? Is he not focused on his health, right? Is he not following his God-given purpose, right? Is he not looking at providing to take care of her if he's solely focused on her? Does he not have other options, right? And she's like, this is maybe not the best climber. I don't know if I can trust him, etc. And that's the problem with modern simpy men and men getting attached to women. So I love you, I want you, I don't fucking need you, right? It should be his disposition. I love you, I need you should be her disposition. Her clinginess and stickiness is essential. His clinginess to his purpose and her being like priority number 4, that's the best structure, right? Here's another scenario. So this is a woman more in her masculine, and you see this exchange, right? Her capacity to climb is there. She's still following him. He's still leading, right? And she's priority number 4, right? He's looking, his feet's on the mountain, his hands on the rope, he's looking at the distance, priority number 4. But she also has the capacity to be on her own as well, but connected to him. So this is less of a burden on him. This is kind of a working woman situation. We can see energetically. But she still has the capacity to bond, hypothetically, right? So 2 different expressions, but That's the chemistry. Now you want to fuck around with that and say, okay, yeah, she can lead. He's gonna cling to her. What happens if he clings to her and she tries to cling to the mountain? In this scenario, but also this happens in. You can just play it out in rock climbing, right? His full weight on her frame, they both fall. Her strength and bond to God, to her purpose, right? When she's solely in her emotions primary, which is weak, that is weak, right? They're both going to fall down. She's better off on her own than having a man cling to her, right? At least at that point, all she has to do is support her own weight. But the emotional connection to purpose, to God, to productivity, to is not as conducive. She knows in her genes, rational first fuels that connection. She can still be supportive. Like, she'd actually rather play a support role, right? Serving him to ultimately serve her.